Well, good morning, everyone. Today we have a special guest. This is the Johnny Rooster Morning Mouth. I'm your host, Johnny Rooster, and we are here to talk to business owners, entrepreneurs, nonprofits, and entertaining people. Well, we have probably a lot of those categories. You're a self-employed, entertaining person.
I hope so.
This is Steve Carl. We call him the Hippie Evangelist, Hippie Preacher, a lot of different titles. But it's good to have you here today, Steve Carl.
Thank you, Johnny. It's just great to be here today.
Well, it's a wonderful project that I'm doing. I get the privilege of talking to interesting people that are in the performing arts. Some of them are bodybuilders. We've got people that have done really unusual things. And I see a lot of color here today.
Oh, yeah.
So this is what I was at a conference, church conference in Oklahoma with my parents, and noticed that you were the bright spot in the room. So wanted to bring you along today, tell people about what you do and why, because preaching, evangelism, and hippies don't always seem to go together.
Well, that's what a lot of people think.
I think it's a little counterculture, not really on board with the same topic. So you got your hippie mug here.
Oh, yeah.
You got a logo. There's something here, a tie-dye Bible. You can hold that up. That's kind of fun. So the tie-dye preacher right here. Steve, tell us a little about you. And the question on my mind that comes to mind is, how old are you? Is that okay to ask?
Yeah, I'm proud to say it. I'm 68.
68. So did you grow up in the culture with the 60s culture?
Oh, yes. It was peace, love, everything. It's to be completely honest, before I was very rebellious and I'd fight at drop of a hat. And then I got into really the culture, not the drugs. Everybody looks at hippies as just a bunch of druggies. No, that wasn't it. It was the culture that surrounded it. And, peace, love, and everything. And I've told many times that you could be sitting around with a bunch of friends and they would be passing a joint around.
Yeah.
And you come to me, I'd say, oh, no, thank you.
No, thanks.
And they go, oh, cool, more for me. There was no peer pressure.
Yeah.
You had to. And so I really enjoyed that. And I'm more of a pacifist, I guess, now.
Yeah. Well, what was your spiritual background?
Oh, I was raised my dad was a deacon of the church, grew up Southern Baptist, and
did he go for the long hair?
Well, actually, when I graduated high school, Central High School here in Springfield.
Oh, yeah.
I was the first
Bulldogs
graduating senior with shoulder-length hair and a full beard.
Wow.
And
I don't think I could even grow a beard when I was in high school. That's impressive.
That's how I got, people thought I was older.
Wow.
But he told me if I would shave my hair and cut my beard off, go down to Central Dodge, he'd buy me any car on the used car lot.
There you go.
So no, he didn't agree with it, but what could he say?
Did you take him up on that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a smart move for you.
So, yeah, except I picked the wrong car.
What'd you get?
66 Volkswagen.
Oh no, that's the hippie in you right there.
Yeah.
Was it a bus or was it a Beetle or what'd you get?
It was a fastback.
Fastback. Not an impressive car to me.
No, but the one I was really looking at was a 68 Charger.
Yes, now that would have been a little better choice.
Yeah, I settled for the Volkswagen.
My dad had a 70 Volkswagen bus and a 60 Volkswagen Beetle. So he was right there with that theme because he wanted to save fuel. He's a fuel economy guy. Mm-hmm. Well, he also sacrificed some things like good air conditioning, no air conditioning. The water-cooled engines, the air-cooled engines were not great with the heat in the winter either.
Oh, no, you froze to death in the winter.
You cough, you blow your window fogs up.
I lived it.
Hey, if you folks are just tuning in, we're talking to Hippie Evangelist, Steve Carl. He's got the tie-dye. He's got the look. But let's find out a little more about that. Why do you promote a religious Christian theme ministry through the hippie culture?
Well, actually, the hippies are, so-called hippies are no different than anybody else. And
wait a minute, they dress different.
Yeah.
Okay. So they are different.
They are different. They've got a different perspective on a lot of things. And but the thing is they still need to know Christ.
Yeah.
And there's a lot that are worshiping. They're searching for something to believe in, to worship in. And I started with Hippie Fest over 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And it just, the people, and there's no drama, there's no politics, there's no grumpy people.
Okay.
We tell them to stay at home.
Yeah.
But and everybody's just smiling and everything. And I felt God leading me to that area. And people say, well, that's easy because they're in a good mood. Well, on a evangelist point of view, it's easier to drag somebody that is at the lowest point to bring them to Christ than what it is to bring somebody at their highest point to bring them.
That makes sense.
And we started doing it. We have a lot of following. It really surprised me. Yeah, and so it just.
Is it a group that does this, or are you on your own with this ministry?
In the ministry, I'm the only one.
And you attend hippie festivals?
Yes, there's 10 of them throughout the United States.
And what do they do at those festivals?
Everybody just has a good time.
I mean, is it about music, or is it something just associating?
It's a music festival. You've got stilt walkers. You've got aerialists. It's more of a carnival type thing. And then on Sunday mornings, I get up and preach a message, and the music is fantastic all weekend. And the last one I was in Georgia a couple of weeks ago, and it was a guy's first time. And I asked him, I said, have you noticed any grumpy people here? And he just kind of stopped and he said, there's not any. And I thought, isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
But Hippie Fest is based out of Michigan, and they are fantastic. It's just, there's probably everybody carries a camera now with their cell phones.
Yeah.
And it just, I probably get with my outfit.
So is it supposed to be kind of like a Woodstock, or is it just a totally different vibe?
It is supposed to be quite a bit like Woodstock in remembrance of Woodstock.
Mm-hmm. Are there tribute bands from the 60s, 70s era that are playing that style of music?
Yeah, we've got tribute bands, and there's so many out there, especially on the eastern part of the United States and the western part of the United States. And you'll be sitting there, we've got a booth with crafts, and you'll be sitting there, and all of a sudden you'll hear Janis Joplin start singing.
Yeah.
And you look up at the stage, and it's a tribute band.
Yeah.
And she's dead.
Mm-hmm.
But,
right.
And,
sounds like her though. Somebody belting it out.
Yeah, Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
They've got all kinds of tribute bands. And most of the performers are just unbelievable. They are there to have a good time too, and it's not.
Was there drugs involved with that place?
Michigan, there was. Michigan is legal.
Yeah, marijuana is legal there.
And it was really odd to see people just walking around there.
Smoking a joint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so recreational marijuana is legal in Michigan.
Yes.
Just like California, probably Nevada. But yeah, you didn't ever do the drugs. You're saying you were just saying no thanks.
I never said I didn't do it.
Okay, you didn't say you didn't do it.
No, I experimented,
Uh-huh.
and I decided
This is something like a Bill Clinton interview all of a sudden.
just it wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
And it was mainly marijuana.
Yeah.
And well, that was the only thing. I didn't do
harder drugs,
pills and all that stuff. And I decided to quit when I was in Rockaway Beach. And this guy from Chicago that I got to know, he gave me a joint. And I don't remember getting back to Springfield.
Oh, wow.
And I seen him the next day, and I said, what was in that?
Yeah.
And he said, heroin.
Oh, no.
And I thought, okay, that's it. I don't like that experience.
Yeah.
I don't want it, I want to be in control.
So no LSD, nothing mind expanding?
No.
Well, how about them as a group? Do they recognize you as a preacher, as the evangelist, or is it just one of them?
There's Hippie Fest has put a sign up in front of my booth, craft booth, and it says "Meet Pastor Steve."
Okay.
And like I said, people carry around cameras, you know, the phones and everything. I estimate on a 2-day event that I have my photograph taken with people 500 times.
Yeah, so a lot of people taking a picture with you.
And many people ask, where do you preach at? Where, are you local? Can we come to your church? Can we do this? And, or do that. And I'm in Missouri. I'm either Michigan, Indiana, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia. And so, no, I just try to find them, something that is a peaceful, loving church that they can go. And I'm on the internet at least 2-3 hours a day talking to different people.
Yeah.
And everything that's with questions, going through, counseling and everything. I'm not, this is an outfit. But the thing is what's inside is God's love. And up until a few years ago, my hair was shorter than yours, and my beard's about the same.
Well, you had a pastorate on Mount Vernon, didn't you?
Yes, I was pastor at Mount Vernon Church.
So they're a real conservative group there.
All very conservative.
So how did they take to you?
With a grain of salt.
Yeah, but you didn't have the beard or the long hair.
I had a goatee and had short hair.
What did you wear on Sunday morning?
Usually a 3-piece suit.
Wow.
And
trying to fit their culture to reach that audience.
And I went to church one day to open the doors and everything, and I was running kind of late. And I had shorts on, no raggy t-shirt on. And one of the members of the church pulled into the parking lot, and they said, aren't you going to preach today? And I said, yeah. And they said, well, you're dressed like that. And my comeback is, I'm kind of a smart aleck, And I said, I'm not dressed any different than you. And but they was used to seeing me with a suit, with a tie, everything. And I've actually been told I can't preach with this outfit on.
Wow.
And I thought, that's not who I am, and I may be getting ahead of us, but I guess you could say our mission statement in our ministry is, instead of most people think of John 3:16, ours is John 3:17. So for God sent his son to the world not to judge the world, but to save the world. And if we judge people, does that put us above Christ?
Right. Okay.
And so it's better not to judge. You can judge mentally, but don't, not verbally.
Okay.
And that is our big thing. And I think that's the reason I get along well with a lot of the hippies, because I'm not judging them.
Well, I appreciate that you're willing to do that, but you're also part of that culture.
Yes.
So it's like Jesus, when he entered the world as a man, he was in the Jewish culture. He wasn't in another culture.
Yes.
He was a Jewish culture person. So
Oh,
you are a hippie culture person.
I am. That is. I really enjoyed that part of my life, and I've lived it, but I've always lived it being concealed into the dress. And actually, I was a serviceman, in doing service for people's houses.
Sure.
And so I had to dress accordingly to what people thought I should dress.
Okay.
And 4 years ago, I broke my knee. Then a year later, I broke it again. So I had 2 surgeries. And I told my wife after the second surgery, I said, I'm not going to cut my hair, shave my beard until they get it fixed this time.
Sure.
No, it's not fixed.
Well, still broken. Well, you've got a collection here. We're going to talk about that. You've got some things that you do in a craft booth at these hippie festivals.
Yes.
So you're a crafter. You can always take a drink on your hippie mug there. He's got some coffee in that hippie mug. And I wanted people to know that are listening, if you wanted to connect with Steve Carl, the Hippie Evangelist, there is the Shepherd's Field. And that would be something you can talk about now, what that is. You got a big box truck, a chocolate Labrador. Is that your side? What kind of dog do you have?
Chocolate Lab.
Chocolate Lab sitting shotgun there.
Yeah, she's actually my service dog since I'm, my folks used to tell me you sit too close to TV, you go blind.
Yeah.
If you have the music up, you go deaf.
Okay.
I'm deaf.
Okay.
If it wasn't for the hearing aids, I can't hear it.
Yeah.
So she tells me when somebody's around or something's going on. So
okay, make sure she's aware for you. But you have some crafts in the Shepherd's Field. That's what I want to hear about now.
Yeah. Well, the thing is we started out. I know you probably can't see this, with making rings.
Okay.
And because we did a lot of weddings, people couldn't afford to buy wedding rings. So we offered wedding rings. I'd engrave them on the inside, outside. They're stainless steel. Here's something we just kind of started. It's an air freshener. And hang that up. You load it yourself with the oil that you want to smell it. And I know Johnny and I know his family, so I made one for Johnny.
All right. Look at that.
There. And his mom and dad are the sweetest couple. So I made them a little hippie couple.
Got that logo right there. That's great. Thank you.
There and
thank you. Wow.
Here's some earrings that we do.
My wife really likes the earrings she got from you. They're got a stone and a cross.
Yeah, I've seen her and she was
she really liked that.
And a lot of people like souvenirs, and so I want to give this to Johnny.
Wow, look at that.
And made it just for him.
Really?
He's going to walk out of here with a bunch.
Had a hippie time. Johnny Rooster show. Well, you've really gone all out. This is quite impressive. This little ceramic cup here.
Yeah.
Got that stamped on that? Wow.
I've got my hippie cup I'm drinking coffee out of, and he's got a tumbler.
Yeah.
And anybody that's got a show has to have their own coffee cup.
Oh, my goodness. Look at this.
And
got a picture of us, got the logo. Wow, I don't know how you get all this. That's pretty impressive. Wow. It's got something in there too. Did you know that?
Oh, I forgot to take the keychains out.
You want that keychain? And there's a little duck keychain in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
But now then, I do belts, dog leashes. And this is something new right here.
Great.
Well,
that's impressive. I'm amazed. And what else you got? Yeah.
A flexi. This is nice. For our dog. Her name's Bob.
Her name is Bob. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
does she know she has a man's name? Is she concerned about that?
Actually,
I've met Bobbies, but not Bob's. So
I don't really know how
boy named Sue.
effective it is. You know, we have to stay in the modern world all the time. I told my wife I wanted a dog and I wanted to name it Bob.
Okay.
And she said, well, if it's a girl, and I said, it's still going to be Bob. And so I have actually been yelled at because I named her Bob. And
it's against the rules.
Oh, it is. And so when she was
Bobby's okay, but not Bob.
Yeah. And when she was 4 months old, I had her spayed.
Yeah.
I didn't want puppies.
Yeah.
And so people say, I can't believe you put a guy's name on a dog and, on a female dog. And I said, she's gender neutral now.
Now, yeah, neutralized.
So, but the thing is, people.
It's a little more modern than this culture. The gender neutral.
Yes. But, then they kind of shut up. But, whenever you're mad, you can better than what you can Fifi. And so
one syllable.
Yeah. And, that was my brother's name too. And so he didn't like anybody that was named Bob. So he passed away here a few years ago. So that's one of the reasons I named the dog Bob.
That's just great.
Just irritating.
Well, I'm definitely impressed with this mug and this cup and the tumbler, the air fresheners. A lot of creativity here. You're finding that. Is that items that you do to market at the festivals or other places? What do you do with the crafts?
Well, crafts, I started it actually before doing the evangelism. And we have no other source of income coming in except for what we get on our crafts at festivals. So this supports our ministry. And
is that the name of the ministry? Is Shepherd's Field?
No, it's actually Let's Get Personal.
Let's Get Personal. Okay.
And because everything I used to make was all personalized while you waited, like the rings. I still do them, but a lot of the other things I'm not able to do anymore because I'm so busy at the festivals talking to people about Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And so my wife has became my worker and Bob's her assistant.
Okay.
And if my wife's helping somebody else and somebody walks up, Bob jumps up and leans on the table like, may I help you?
Yeah.
And so, and she's got a following that's just unbelievable.
Well, good. A lot of people, they'll have a pet that like that. That's kind of an interesting thing, and they put it on a Facebook page or they have a following for that pet.
Mm-hmm. So, but on the side of our box truck, it's got my wife and I, our logo, I guess you could say. Then it's got a sticker of Bob on there, and people it's crazy.
You travel in that box truck?
Yes.
And then is there what's your inventory in there? Is this more crafts in there or something else?
No, the box truck is actually like a RV. Everything. It's I call it the parsonage.
So you can open the back, and instead of you've got what's inside there?
You open the back and beds right there.
Oh wow!
And we've got the bathroom, got the kitchen, got a couch.
So this is a RV made out of a box truck, folks.
Yes.
So think about one of those old bread trucks or something, a delivery truck with the sliding door.
Penske truck.
Yeah.
I got, and we used to have my workshop in the back of it, and we just kept expanding, and so now we have to carry a cargo trailer to have all of our equipment in, and then we also travel with a motorcycle that I've had for over 50 years, and it's very unusual.
You've had a motorcycle over 50 years?
Oh, yes.
What kind of motorcycle?
It's a 1969 BMW with factory sidecar.
Wow.
And I had it before I had my wife.
Well, so is
Yeah.
Bob ever ride in that, or is your wife riding in that sidecar? Or?
She does. Our children were raised riding in the sidecar.
Wow.
My wife rode behind me,
Yeah.
and now Bob says it's hers.
Wow.
And so my wife has to ride behind me, and we've been married. November will be 49 years.
Well, there you
and
go. So you've been together a long time.
Yeah, it's called, the reason we've been married so long, it's called fear. I'm scared to death of her. But no, it's just, I know people won't be able to see this, but there is a photograph of us in the motorcycle.
Pastor Steve and Donna was, of course, Bob. Yeah, the traveling hippie preacher from Southwest Missouri. Preacher at Hippie Fest. Well, that's interesting. Tie-dye, John 3:17. And Shepherd's Field Ministry is different from the Let's Get Personal.
Yeah, the Let's Get Personal is our Hippie Fest, our craft thing. And
so you got crafts at the Hippie Fest. You
yes.
Preach at the Hippie Fest.
Yes.
And then Shepherd's Field, tell us specifically, what is that part of it?
The Shepherd's Field Ministry is actually, it's a ministry we developed in 2008. And it is on our property in Mount Vernon, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got the smallest wedding chapel in use in the world.
Wow.
On it. And we have built onto that ministry, and it's just the Shepherd Field Ministry. It covers a lot of different things that we do, and
obviously weddings.
Oh yes, we've done since June of 2008. We're close to 700 now.
700 weddings,
and 90% of them still married.
Well, that's good. You don't want to just marry people and don't think about their relationship.
Yeah, I love weddings.
Is there money in weddings?
Other people, yes.
Yeah.
And
is it a lucrative thing? Is there money in doing your wedding, or is it a simple wedding, pretty scaled down?
I don't do a wedding with 500 guests there any different than what I do if I have to even supply the witnesses.
Wow.
And it is their day, and they need the best possible that they can remember. I've done weddings that cost a couple over $50,000.
Wow.
And I've done them $50 weddings.
Yeah, sure.
So
are they in different locations, or do you have it at that place? Is that what you're?
The $50,000 one was in Joplin.
Mm-hmm.
I did one a little bit over a year ago in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe just the tent that they rented was right at $5,000.
Wow.
And the thing is, they're not any more married than a couple I married last week, $50.
Why do you think people go extravagant on a wedding?
They've been brought up from the time they was little. Oh, your wedding's got to be this, it's got to be that. Elopement weddings is what I love to do because it's more personal.
Mm-hmm.
It's emotional. The bride doesn't have to go through, oh no, nothing's going to go right or anything like that.
Yes.
And
ironically, my last guest on Monday was Sherry Holloway Photography in Branson. She's got quite a career of just getting pictures, the right picture for the people, and almost all of them want outdoor pictures now.
Yeah.
No matter if it's inside a venue or not, they want the outdoor picture look if they can do it.
That's it. It's
a big expense.
Oh, it is. It's nothing for these venues to charge $5,000-$6,000.
Yeah.
And
it's all out.
And
I'm thinking, if you're getting married, it's you and God and your witnesses.
Yes.
It's a sacred it's not a show. I think differently about marriage, and the wedding service doesn't have to be an elaborate setup. But that's later. Early in life, people think this is what they got to do.
Oh, and they go into debt to do it.
Unfortunately, my marriage didn't last, but I did find another wife, which was a wonderful thing. But the second time was just me, the judge, and the witnesses. It wasn't about the big splash.
Oh, and that's, I don't discourage it, but I suggest it.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the greatest weddings we've done has been the small, intimate weddings, elopement with maybe 4 or 5 guests. Then they have a big blowout at the reception.
Yeah,
and
that seems to be all the rage.
Yeah,
ongoing party.
Then we had one that the parents were so involved in it that it just, the couple was just within themselves. They just, hey, so
it's like the father, what's the movie? There's movies about this, Mother of the Bride, Father of the Bride. There's all these really bizarre. People are so wrapped up in the idea of that day.
Oh, they are, and
it's overblown. That's my opinion.
I had one couple said that they came out to us to get married, and they said, but we're going to have a reception, at such and such place. And so I was sitting on the front row, and the bride and groom walked in, and I just stood up, and we had the wedding there. They hadn't gotten married before, but they so pressure. You got to do this, you got to do that, and everything. That they had it at the reception.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, wow, that's neat.
Wow.
And I'm not in the box.
Yeah.
And so
you'll fit whatever they want to do.
Yeah. And I've always told them, it's your wedding. It's not
Why
mine.
do people seek out a hippie preacher for a wedding?
Used to not be that look this way.
No, but now, is it because you're a hippie preacher, or is it something else? For a wedding, do you do the same getup?
I think on the wedding venues is people that has told other people about me. And to be completely honest, I had a woman a couple of weeks ago, got married, and she said, I love your hair, I love your beard. She said, you're relaxing.
Yeah.
And I thought, how am I relaxing? But it's, you can look at me, I'm a hippie, or if I put my suede jacket on, I'm a mountain man.
Sure. A lot of people like that retro, they call it. They like the nostalgia. They're younger than that culture, but they like it. So that's become a vintage type of thing. Some people in their 20s and 30s really gravitate towards that.
Yeah, actually, we see a lot of the younger generation at Hippie Fest. It's, in different hippie events. They are going back into the old music, the old times, the old doing this or doing that. And they are, you go into Walmart, go any place, you're going to see tie-dye shirts every place. You don't see tie-dye suits.
No. Where did you get that one?
Actually, Walmart.
Really? They had that at Walmart?
Yeah.
Was that a Halloween getup or something else? Christmas they had it.
And they had 1 year, and they didn't sell that well. And I bought 2 of them. I bought one online. Then I found out they had some in another town. I drove to the town, bought another one. Then I got one for my wife. I can't find any more.
Well, stand up, because you've got the pants, and I want to show the audience that. Where did you get those? Was that part of the suit?
That's part of
so
the
Walmart
suit.
had that too.
Yeah.
And you got the belt.
No, I made that.
Okay, so there's a tie-dye belt. Guys, if you want something, this guy can make it probably. You probably can make that for people.
I try.
Do you like to market things like that for people, specialty items?
Oh, yes. That is why the name of our crafting is Let's Get Personal, because everything is made personalized to the person.
So what are some things that you can do for customers? You got cups. You've got the air fresheners. You got you made a belt, T-shirt,
rings, bandanas. I've done mask. I've done leather belts. Um, done all kinds of leather things. In fact, my wife is getting into making purses out of suede, and it's if I can't do it, I'll tell you I can't do it. But I've
Are you Shepherd's Field Wedding Chapel?
yes.
It came right up. So if I entered in a Google search today, I just entered Shepherd's Field, it showed up how to find you, Mount Vernon, Missouri.
Or you can put in Pastor Steve Carl.
Pastor Steve Carl, and that'll come
and
up.
That'll go to
to the other side. Well, that's good. I want people to find you. I want you to find them. If they're looking to get married, or if they have a craft item or a personal item, that would be the way to go.
This weekend we're going to be in hopefully Athens, Tennessee. It's not a hippie fest, but it is some friends of ours that they've actually got a hippie church.
Yes.
In Dayton, Tennessee. And I'm wanting to go down. They're having a festival in a park in Athens. And so it just...
when you go to a festival, are there other vendors there and you're one of the vendors?
Oh, yes.
Do you have to pay or to be part of that?
Well, since I'm preaching, I don't.
So you get into these festivals.
Yeah.
How many a year would you say you go to?
On the Hippie Fest itself, there's 10 a year.
So they have a regular 10 a year.
And they've added Omaha, Nebraska this year, and we're going back to Jadewind, Missouri. That's in the southeastern part of Missouri, just
near the Boot Heel. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. South of Rolla.
And Hippie Fest is something it's hard to explain without experiencing it. But like I said, you never see grumpy people there.
Is it open to the public?
Yeah, you have to buy tickets.
Okay.
And
so it's a ticketed event with lots of music.
Yes. Music always starts at noon.
Is it a Friday through Sunday, or what is it?
It's Saturday and Sunday in Jadewind. The ones in Michigan and Indiana are one-day events.
Okay.
And
so they don't stay overnight at those. They just come in.
Yeah, they've got camping and everything on the
Even though it's a one-day event, I didn't know if they...
No, we go in on Friday and we leave usually either Saturday night or Sunday morning, whatever time we have to get back.
Okay.
And so...
Well, you've got a calendar in front of you. Is that for something specific?
Well, that was where all the Hippie Fest are.
Yeah, so can you kind of give us a little rundown of where some are coming up this summer, fall?
Okay, August 7th and 8th in Hocking Hills, Ohio. The 21st of August, Ionia, Michigan. 28th and 29th, Omaha, Nebraska. That's only 5-6 hour drive. Then in September, we get 2 weeks off. 18th and 19th, Jadewind, Missouri. Then the next weekend is Tipton, Indiana. Then a week off, then Mears, Michigan, and it's right on Lake Michigan. Beautiful spot.
Nice.
Then it ends up October 23rd in Columbia, South Carolina.
Well, that's something you do every year.
Yes.
Well, it's good. And if they find out, I guess if they just type in Hippie Festival, they can find those events.
It's their website's hippiefest.org.
Hippiefest.org. Folks, thank you. You've been watching Johnny Rooster Morning Mouth. This is a program that we highlight entrepreneurs and business owners. We also highlight interesting people, and that's what we've got here today. This is Pastor Steve Carl. Thank you for being here today. He is our hippie evangelist preacher. He goes to Hippie Festival, so hippiefest.org. If you'd like to know about his ministry with weddings, it's Shepherd's Field Ministry in Mount Vernon, Missouri. And also you have the other thing with the crafts and all of that too through Let's Get Personal. Thanks again. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.